So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. I hope it gets even better for you. Um, if you're feeling down or anything, man, just take a couple minutes to rock out to your favorite music. Watch your favorite TV show, favorite movie, whatever it is, whatever it takes to get you in a better mood, a much happier mood. And you know the difference. Run it. Don't let anyone stand in your way. You be you. And everyone else that doesn't like what it is that makes you happy can all go to, you know what I mean? So, have a good day, dude. Now, I had left off where I was about to read verse 32 of the Tao Te Ching. And as you can see, I'm wearing a lovely Iron Maiden shirt because I am a metalhead. I am also a guitar player, and I've been playing guitar for 30 years this year. Or 31 years this year. So, this 32nd verse of the Tao Te Ching says, "The eternal Tao has no name. Although simple and subtle, no one in the world can master it." Meaning you can't master God's realm. You can learn about it, but you can't master it, not while you're in this form. If knights and lords could harness them, the 10,000 things would naturally obey. Heaven and earth would rejoice with the dripping of sweet dew. Everyone would live in harmony, not by official decree, but by their own goodness. Once the world is divided, the parts need names. There are already enough names. Know when to stop. Know when reason sets limits to avoid peril. Rivers and streams are born of the ocean, and all creation is born of the Tao. Just as all water flows back to become the ocean, all creation flows back to become Tao. So in this 32nd verse, you can learn all about the spiritual world, realm, however you want to call it. It's got a ton of names. Doesn't really mean anything. You can slap whatever labels you want on it. It's all the same thing. It's all the same place. It's all the same presence. You can't really master it, but you will return to it. When it's your time to go, it's your time to go. Now the 33rd verse is, "One who understands others has knowledge. One who understands himself has wisdom." Well, howdy, is it Navajar? Hope you're having a wonderful day today, dude. So I'm doing the 33rd verse. Navajar? Excellent. Rock on, buddy. So, this is the 32nd verse. I'll start over just for you. Okay? And, I hope you like Iron Maiden. If not, you can run to the hills. Bump. Okay, one who understands others has knowledge. You're welcome, dude. One who understands himself has wisdom. Mastering others requires force. Mastering the self needs strength. If you realize that you have enough, you are truly rich. One who gives himself to his position surely lives long. One who gives himself to the Tao surely lives forever. I think that's sweet. I also want to say that psychology. I think everyone should take psychology courses. It helps you to not only understand other people a little bit better and their own mental state, but it also helps you to do self-analogy on yourself, and you can really help yourself out a lot. And I also think taking medical classes is really important in someone's life. I recommend those to anyone doing, medical and psychology. And typically, you would do psychology within your medical classes, so it helps. I also think that we should do grief counseling. Everyone on the planet, you know what I mean? I think in the end we would all just be a little more at peace with ourselves and therefore on to others. Because in order to see peace outwards within your presence, within your life, and those around you and the environment and so on, you need to have peace within yourself. I also know that when you have peace within yourself, it takes a while for those within your friends or family circle to deal with it. And I say it that way only because most people cannot comprehend living a life of peace within, and they'd rather not deal with you. You're one of the oddballs. So be one of the oddballs. Now, the 34th verse is, "The great way is universal. It can apply to the left or the right. All beings depend on it for life. Even so, it does not take possession of them. It accomplishes its purpose, but makes no claim for itself. It covers all creatures like the sky, but does not dominate them. All things return to it as their home, but it does not lord it over them. Thus, it may be called great, or the great way. The sage imitates this conduct. By not claiming greatness, the sage achieves greatness." So I think allowing not just yourself, but others as well, to be who they are, to live the life that they see fit for themselves. Each person has their own journey in life. You start out as a child. Hopefully you'll live a long life, knock on wood. Just saying you live until you're like 110 or something, right? So at that point, it really is a matter of you walk in this world alone and you walk out of this world alone, from birth to death. Even though there's people around you, they're all a part of your experience, your own lifetime. So that if you were to take yourself away from anything and everyone that you know, say you pick up and move to a whole nother continent, you're all alone. It's kind of like it is. Now, in order for you to come to grips with your life as being your life, you're going to dress the way you want, grow your hair out if you want to, whatever, dude. That's your life. You enjoy it. You also need to allow others to live their life as they see fit. And even though somebody else's life, be it family or friends or just somebody you know or may not know, their life is their own. And if your life is okay by you to live the way you see fit, then you should also allow others to live their life the way that they see fit. Translate that into any position, person, status, whatever you'd like. I mean, like some people are, let's just say, junkies. You know what? That's all you. You enjoy it. You know what I mean? So if you can understand that you can't control everything, you can only worry about yourself. You can only take care of yourself. And others along the way. La 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 la. You know what I mean. Should have brought some chapstick with me. So anyway, the 35th verse. "All men will come to him. who keeps to the one, which is our presence. They flock to him and receive no harm, for in him they find peace, security, and happiness. Music and dining are passing pleasures, yet they cause people to stop. How bland and insipid are the things of this world when one compares them to the Tao. When you look for it, there's nothing to see. When you listen for it, there's nothing to hear. When you use it, it cannot be exhausted. Enjoying your now. I think it's very important for people to have peace within themselves. I think everyone should enjoy the present moment. You gonna get another one? Why not enjoy this one? Because you've got this one going on right now. Make the best of it. When it comes to little things like little pleasures, be it food or beverage or whatever they're talking about here, or whatever you want to translate it into, even if you want to go back to the other one with saying a junkie. That's all you, dude. You enjoy it. Enjoy your now. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to have a better life. I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to enjoy life's moments and life's little pleasures. And what if you want to have a piece of chocolate? Run it up, buddy. Eat the whole thing. I don't care. If you find little pleasures along the way, you should enjoy them. And nobody should stand in your way, and nobody should tell you not to. Because in the end, your life is your own. You make decisions for yourself, not for other people. The 36th verse. Should you want to contain something, you must deliberately let it expand. Should you want to weaken something, you must deliberately let it grow strong. Should you want to eliminate something, you must deliberately allow it to flourish. Should you want to take something away, you must deliberately grant it access. The lesson here is called the wisdom of obscurity. The gentle outlasts the strong. The obscure outlasts the obvious. Fish cannot leave deep waters, and a country's weapons should not be displayed. Now in this one, just let it be, dude. Life is going to unfold for you and for others. Just let it take its own course. You can help it along the way by manifesting things for you that you wish to see fit for your own self. Or for others, hopefully they're good, But this part here where a country should keep, a country's weapons should not be displayed, I think that's kind of true. Because you don't want to intimidate people into, ooh, we can't go outside, and ooh, you know what I mean? Like, you really want people to feel comfortable. And they're not going to feel comfortable around a whole bunch of weapons. Take, for example, North Korea right now. Perfect example. I don't think those people over there that live there, that call North Korea home, feel safe in their own environment. And I don't think that's right. Now, whatever their problem is, that's all on them, dude. I don't really care. But I also think that little chubby boy needs a spanking. But then I also I've taken a lot of classes. So I can, I'm usually pretty good at picking out what kind of a person someone is. And I think Kim Jong-un has a diaper fetish. My bad. Maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think I am. Yeah. You see, being in the entertainment industry, I started my career in the adult form. And I did a couple years of camming. professionally. And I also came across a great many deal of minds and their own fetishes. I got really good at, reading a person like a book. It happens. So I definitely think that man's got a diaper fetish. I think he enjoys spankings. And he needs one. But I don't think having all your weapons on display does really much for you or your country or anything. I think it actually shows your weakness right up front. I think it says that you're not strong enough to be at peace within yourself and your life and worry about yourself, or in this case, his own country, or part of. So I think that dude's got a lot of issues. But I think it's a good example where, you shouldn't have your country's weapons on display. Dude, I don't need, I'm here in America. I'm not in North Korea. I don't need to know that you've got like all these weapons of mass destruction, or that we do, or that Russia or anybody does. I don't really care, dude. But my life is about peace and moving forward. And if you're not, I don't really care, and I don't really care to associate with them. So it's not like I'm ever going to become friends with this, Kim Jong-un person or anybody else is like a dictator on our planet. I'd rather slap him around a little bit, try and slap some sense into them. Be like, dude, what is your problem? And I think they've got a lot of problems. Here in America, I think our own president has a lot of problems that money can't fix. So the 37th verse, the Tao does nothing but leaves nothing undone. Hello? If powerful men could center themselves in it, the whole world would be transformed by itself in its natural rhythms. When life is simple, pretenses fall away. Our essential nature shines through. It does. Peace and love within you definitely shines. But wanting, there is calm. And the world will straighten itself. When there is silence, one finds the anchor of the universe within oneself. Meditation. I think meditation is one of the most important things that anyone, I'd like to go as far as saying cats and dogs and all of that, but God knows. But I think as far as the human being goes, we are blessed with the opportunity of having an analytical mind. We are also blessed with having the presence of our Creator within us, so we can use that to our advantage or for our disadvantage. You take your pick. But I think if you're a person that has peace and love and harmony within you, that's just what you're all about. I know I am. And I don't really care if anyone likes it or not, dude. I don't care. Give you an example. I think my parents are a little embarrassed of the way I've turned out, the way I look. I don't really care. I don't give a damn. They're not in my life. I am. Now, they also grew up into music. So they should understand my hair's winging out here because it's falling forward. You would think my parents would understand a little bit more about being a metalhead guitar player growing up, wanting to have long hair, the 80s. How could you not know what the 80s were all about if you lived through them? How could you not see the things that I grew up watching on TV? I was heavily, as you can see right now, influenced by this music. Not just Iron Maiden, but all my metal bands, And It's the way I am. It's the way I like to look and dress. And I guess you could say I have that mentality. I've often called it a New York mentality, where I'm all like, hey, man, you don't like it? There you go. You know? Whatever. So, the 38th verse, it is just a touch longer. A truly good man is not aware of his goodness. Come on, give me a break. I don't believe that. I think a truly good man, who is, a great man, so to speak, I think you're a little more aware just because you can appreciate the contrast that is around you. I think that you would have the mind, obviously, and the eyes and ears to understand that you're not like everyone else. Other people are just crappy people. And you want to live a better life. So appreciating the contrast, and seeing the contrast. So let me start over. A truly good man is not aware of his goodness, and there is therefore good. A foolish man tries to be good and is therefore not good. A lot of people want to make themselves look better than they are in front of other people. A lot of people, even some that I know, wish to be the main focal point of any situation in any room. You put up a whole bunch of people in the room, and they want to be the ones that stand out, and everyone is like, ooh, what are you doing in your life? And how can I translate that into myself? They're just crappy people. The master does nothing, yet he leaves nothing undone. The ordinary man is always doing things, and yet more are left to be done. The highest virtue is to act without a sense of self. Care more about other people than you do yourself. The highest kindness is to give without condition. The highest justice is to see without preference. When the Tao is lost, there is goodness. When goodness is lost, there is morality. When morality is lost, there is ritual. Ritual is the husk of true faith, the beginning of chaos. The great master follows his own nature and not the trappings of life. Now it is said, he stays with the fruit and not with the fluff. He stays with the firm and not the flimsy. He stays with the true and not the false. Surround yourself by all things good. If that's what you want to manifest before you, it needs to be all around you. Now, if you want to manifest a pretty crappy life, with crappy people in your life, then by all means, man, surround yourself with that if that's what you're into. Far be it for me to judge, and I'm not going to because I don't do that. But I think if you want peace and harmony and love within yourself and within your life, and something you can see outward, then you have to surround yourself with that. You have to be a better person and not fake, because everyone can see through it. I mean, I think we've all had moments where you've looked at someone and you're like, yeah, I can see what you're doing, and it's just not cool. So what? The 39th. These things from ancient times arise from one. The sky is whole and clear. The earth is whole and firm. The spirit is whole and full. The 10,000 things are whole, and the country is upright. All these are in virtue of wholeness. When man interferes with the Tao, the sky becomes filthy. So what are we doing? Because our planet's full of pollution. The earth becomes depleted. The equilibrium crumbles. Creatures become extinct. Gee, I don't think we're going through any of that, do you? Therefore, nobility is rooted in humanity. Loftiness is based on lowliness. Not loneliness, but lowliness. This is why noble people refer to themselves as alone, lacking, or unworthy. I would like to say I don't really feel as though I'm unworthy. I think I am. I don't think I am lacking, except for, a place of my own with my own name written on it. you know? But as far as alone, I do feel alone. Even though I'm never alone, and I get that. But I do feel alone. I mean, I don't really have many people in my life. I have family that are still living. That wants nothing to do with me. Maybe it's because of my own new attitude, and, if you don't like the way things are, I don't care, I'm not really too sure. I just know that, I'm not a noble person. I don't think I am. If you want to call me one, run it, please do. But no, I really do feel in a lot of ways that I am alone. Now to continue on, the pieces of a chariot are useless unless they work in accordance with the whole. You can have all those pieces, but it doesn't really work as a chariot until it's put together. It's kind of like that with life, you know what I mean? A man's life brings nothing unless he lives in accordance with the whole universe. Playing one's part in accordance with the universe is true humility. True and truly, too much honor means no honor. It is not wise to shine like jade and resound like stone chimes. Now, I'm an entertainer. I've been an entertainer my whole life, really, and professionally for the last 12 years. Because I grew up doing plays and all that crap in school, you know what I mean? And also putting on performances in my family's bar. I was raised in a restaurant in upstate New York, / bar, whatever you want to call it. And I would get paid pretty well to do performances. And so I did. I did a lot of dancing growing up. A lot of dancing like that. But it says, there's no honor. Too much honor means no honor. Yeah, whatever. It is not wise to shine like jade and resound like stone chimes. Well, you know what? When it comes to someone who lives the life of an entertainer, or whatever you're doing, dude. But for me personally, it's what I do. I'm supposed to. I am supposed to stand out of the crowd. If I walk into a room filled with 100 people, okay, just for an example, say I walk into a room with 100 people, all walks of life. Being I'm the entertainer in the room, I'm a professional actor and so on, I'm supposed to stand out a little bit more. I'm supposed to be dressed a little bit differently. I'm supposed to carry myself a little bit differently. I'm supposed to talk about things a little differently. Whether you call that shining or not, dude, I mean, it's what it is. But I also think your shining light comes from within. So I think some of the people in the room with that one example, I think we'll all have moments of everyone shining so bright and it's like, wow, 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 look what you're doing in life. But yet entertaining is a little different. And being a professional actor is a little different. So I don't really feel all that great about the last part here, but whatever. I can't go back and ask Lao Tzu what he meant. Like, hey, dude, how are you gonna translate that into me? Hey, what do you got to say about it? So now the 40th verse is a real tiny one. Returning is the motion of the Tao. Yielding is the way of the Tao. The 10,000 things are born of being. Being is born of non-being. Look, dude, you're born into this life. You gotta make the best of it. And when it's all over, you're going back up yonder. Everyone, or some people that like to have their lives dictated by people who regurgitate crap out of a book will like you to think that you're going downwards. Whatever. I mean, I happen to know a little bit different, and when they die, they will too. Hopefully, they'll get blessed enough to die beforehand and come back to life, in an actual near-death experience for themselves, and be better than they were the day before. Like, that'll happen. Yeah. Now, the 41st verse, a great scholar hears of the Tao and begins diligent practice. That was me years ago. I don't really know how long, dude, because, like, time just kind of blurs with me. So, I know a long time ago I became aware of the Tao. And I just wanted to get my hands on this book. And it took me a long time to find one of these. Why, I don't know, with the power of the internet these days. But I went to go see Wayne in Pasadena. And I got a copy of this and another one of his books and so on. And had him sign it and everything. I love Wayne Dyer. Rest in peace, beautiful soul. But it's, begins diligent practice. This is something I would like to apply to myself and carry with my, my persons for the rest of my life. Because I know that this is said to be one of the wisest books ever written and, helps you to lead the great way of the great way, and that's what my life is, And I think having a sense of this stuff is a whole lot better than the life and mentality in entertainment, especially, that I could very well have without this sort of stuff in my life. How many actors do you know that you get to speak to that are professional actors in Hollywood? Not in some place like Arkansas, but professional actors in Hollywood. How many people of them do you know that you not only get to talk to, but do stuff, online, and then also have a life of peace, love, and harmony, and for the betterment of mankind? I don't really know too many. I know a few. I do. And I love them, and I always will. So it says, a middling scholar hears of the Tao and retains some and loses some. An inferior scholar hears of the Tao and roars with ridicule. Let me read that last part. Without that laugh, it would not be the Tao. Now the inferior scholar hears of the Tao and roars with ridicule. There's so many people that I'm even encountering while doing this series that just want to make slams and make their roar heard and seen. Not only by me, but by everyone. You run it up, buddy. You have a good time. And side note, yeah. But anyway, so there are constructive sayings on this. The way of illumination seems dark. Going forward seems like retreat. And it really does. The easy way seems hard. And that it does. True power seems weak. Well, on a human level, it does. But on a spiritual level, that kind of power, I don't think that's weak at all. But I think anything done with a human body in your life is weak. As compared to. True purity seems tarnished. True clarity seems obscure. The great art seems unsophisticated. The great love seems indifferent. The great wisdom seems childish. The Tao is hidden and nameless. The Tao alone nourishes and brings everything to fulfillment. Whether it's for good or bad, you're going to manifest, whether you like it or not. Now, if you drop all your shit, realize what you want in your life, start making a list of what you want out of your life. Who cares about what's in a book, dude? Screw the book. Any of them. No matter how religious or enlightened, understand that we have a power within us because we're all able to function and move and think and everything, and we don't have to program that to do so. It's already done. There is God force within us. You're going to manifest good things in your life, whether you want to call it manifesting or not. I mean, I'd like to. You don't have to. You want something in life, you're going after it, and you're going to get it. That's how it is, you know? I also think that if someone takes the time to write down what they want versus what they don't want, but then also, because you're supposed to appreciate the contrast, take and make a list of all the things that you don't want. Flip the words around so that they're all positive in what you do want. And it'll make it a whole lot easier for you. Because a lot of people, and you can ask anyone, you know, what their opinion is. Well, what do you want in your next relationship? Tell me about your next lover? You know, I've asked two of my lodge brothers, gotten a little bit of an answer from one, have yet to even hear from the other. But I have asked, you know, describe to me your next girlfriend. What it is you want. Now the one is understanding what I'm getting at, because I've been able to communicate in that one and, you know, go from there. And the other, I have no answer. It's like that. You know, whatever. But a lot of people seem to know what they don't want. But yet when it comes to the question, what do you want? They can only answer a couple of things. And those couple of things, for any given subject, whether it be your next love life or, you know, what you want in your next career or whatever, those couple of things are a little too vague. You need to narrow them down. So for the example of a love life, oh, well, I want a loving relationship and I want... And you see how vague that is? Like, that can be anyone. Narrow it down. The whole movie with, what was the name of that movie? Where you pick out Practical Magic, that's what it is. Writing down a whole list. And it's not just for your love life. It's for any area in life. If you write down a list so detailed and no one else is going to see it, you can feel safe in answering the things that you really have in your head. But if you don't really know what you want out of life, you should actually take time to think about what you want out of life and what you'd like out of your next relationship or whatever. And be specific. Be vague, you know. I mean, you don't want to rule anybody out that could potentially be the love of your life or the greatest career in your life or whatever, but you need to make it as specific as possible. Why? Well, for one, it gives you something to do. It gives you something to focus on for yourself, and it feels good when you're talking about things that you want in your life. Don't let anybody stand in your way. Keep that list all to yourself. Because once other people start to see and read, they're just going to be like, oh, dude, and give you all kinds of crap. And that'll make you kind of change what you want to suit other people. And that's not what you want. You don't want to suit your life to the needs of other people or what other people find as acceptable. It needs to be done for you and you alone. Screw what anybody else wants. Your life is your own. And it should be enjoyed. But you really should have a list of everything that you want versus everything that you don't want. Because more often than not, that people know more of what they don't want. Now, what you focus on, you get. These people are focusing more on all the things that they don't want, which means you're getting more of what you don't want. But if you can shift your attention into positive, start narrowing things down into what you do want, you'll get to where you're seeing all the things that you want. I've been doing this without using the words manifesting and all of that, because I really didn't know. I've been doing this for years. I would have little down moments in my life all these years, ago and everything, that I would just sit there and lay and just stare out the window in bed, just hoping for more. And that, in those moments, I would get to, this is what I want for me. And screw anyone else, that doesn't want it or like it or appreciate or whatever, dude. I don't care. I've earned the right to live my life the way I see fit. And I would end up getting all the things that I've wanted. Now, for right now, I am having the issue, and I've let my one lodge brother know that I don't really know how the homelessness issue has come about, but what I do know and understand is everything that I've ever wanted and gone as far as detailing, I've gotten everything. So we'll see where this all manifests and why in the end. Maybe years later I can look back and be like, that's why I spent time homeless in the last year. Who knows? Maybe there's a reason. Maybe it's for the benefit of other people, not just for myself, and I need to understand that as well. The 42nd verse. The Tao gave birth to one universe, everything in it, right? One gave birth to two, two gave birth to three, and three begat the 10,000 things. The 10,000 things carry yin and embrace yang. So there's duality in all things. And I think we all know that. But translated into anything and everything, and everything. They achieve harmony by combining these forces. People suffer at the thought of being without parents, without food, or without worth. Yet, this is the very way that kings and lords once described themselves. For one gains by losing and loses by gaining. What others thought, I teach. The violent do not die a natural death. That is my fundamental teaching. And that's from Lao Tzu. Not me. But, kind of goes a little bit with what I was just saying all along. People suffer at the thought of being without parents, without food, or without worth. You know what, dude? The only thing that matters to me is keeping my connection to my creator, my source, my God, mi Dios. Keeping my connection is pure, if you want to say, as kind and as gentle as possible. Because this world, while I'm in it, and it does mean a lot to me, I want to live as long as I can, you know what I mean? This world doesn't mean crap to me. Because this is only a blink of an eye, so to speak. as compared to all of after you're dead. You know what I mean? Life goes on forever. And you are a part of that ever, not just right now. And if you're kind of naive enough to think that once you're dead, you rot in a box and that's it, it's all over, well, maybe you should start picking up a book. The 43rd. The softest of all things overrides the hardest of all things. That without substance enters where there is no space. Hence I know the value of non-action. Teaching without words. Performing without actions. Few in the world can grasp it. That is the master's way. Rare indeed are those who obtain the bounty of this world. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream of consciousness. Go with the flow in the creation of life, not against it. And the 44, which I have tattooed on my arm, and as a teenager, I was 21, maybe 22 at the time, sorry. Carved in my arm. Don't do that. But 44 means a lot to me. Long story short. Which means more to you? You or your renown? Which brings more to you? You or what you own? I say what you gain is more trouble than what you lose. Life is the fruit of sacrifice. Wealth is the fruit of generosity. A contented man is never disappointed. He who knows when to stop is preserved from peril. Only thus can you endure long. Life is about giving, not about getting. But at the same time, don't be ashamed of all the things you want in your life. Don't think that you have to justify it to anyone. And if you really want something in life, you really should go after it. And don't let anyone stand in your way. But it is about giving back. So no matter what you are doing in life as a career, and we'll just leave it at that, right? So no matter what you're doing in life as a career, find a way to give back. Just try. I'm really hoping that in my lifetime, being an actor, I will make it to the A-list. And I'm hoping that fortune comes along with the fame, so that I can in turn do things that I've always wanted to do and that I've let a lot of people know about all throughout life. I've always wanted to have homeless shelters, which is adding things up as I speak, and I'm like, ooh. Yeah. But I've always wanted to do things like, flipping the bill for opening a new homeless shelter, dude. And trying to help give back to mankind. And to kids, The 45th verse. The greatest perfection seems imperfect, and yet its use is inexhaustible. The greatest fullness seems empty, and yet its use is endless. Great straightens seems twisted. Great intelligence seems stupid. To a lot of ignorant people, this kind of stuff is stupid. But that's not where their life is focused. Their life is not focused on their spirit. Their life is focused on me and now, and you get out. You know what I mean? Great eloquence, and I love that word. This is amazing and every eye-opening. if you can get a hold of a copy of the Tao Te Ching, and very eye-opening. I hope I'm doing all right. You know, maybe you can answer with me. I hope, given my own little spin and interpretations or whatever with what I'm reading, I hope it helps. You know, I mean, like, because even my coach, my Masonic coach, he has let me know on numerous occasions that this is all above him. It's all like poetry. He doesn't really understand it. So I know that there's a lot of other people that are like that. So I hope by giving my little side notes, I just hope it helps. Because it is like poetry, and it is reading poetry, and not everyone's brain is wrapped around dissecting the actual message behind a poem. Where did I end off? Oh, okay, the last part here. Activity conquers cold. Yeah, when it's like 40 below out, welcome to New York. You know what I mean? But you move around and you're all good. So, inactivity conquers heat. Again, being out in the freezing cold. Stillness and tranquility set things in order in the universe. Appreciating the contrast. I appreciate the warm weather. I grew up in upstate New York. I've lived other places, you know, in the U.S. I've also lived in Mexico. Baja, California, you know, for those of you that want to be all like, that's not Mexico. Whatever, dude, I don't care. You know, it's still Mexico to me because I grew up in upstate New York, dude. What do you want from me? And that was a trip. The first time I got to the border, I freaked. I'm like, whoa, dude. And all I had ever heard was just a whole bunch of negativity from the news sources at that time before I even gotten there, you know. But appreciating the contrast. We're about to get another snowstorm, up to possibly 20 inches of snow. I've never liked snow, dude. I've never liked cold weather. I like the heat. So I'm going to appreciate the contrast. You know? Yeah. Now the 46th verse. When the world has the way, running horses are retired to till the fields. When the world lacks the way, war horses are bred in the countryside. There is no greater loss than losing the Tao. Un momento. How are you going to lose the great way of our creator, our source? You don't. I think even those, like with Wayne, my love, you know, he's often said ego is edging God out. No. I think that's cute. I think that's brilliant, and a lot of people can learn from it. Especially those that are not into this crap that I'm reading. You know, but you never, ever edge God out. Because even in your most vile and violent and negative way, there is duality in all things, and that is God's source. That is our own creation, and that's the way it's supposed to go for you. Although if you really think about it, do you really want to have a negative, crappy life? You know, no. So I think even all those people, you know, like dictators of the planet or whatever, I really don't think all the negativity is what they really want. Like if you could go back in time before Hitler, and well, I'm using Hitler for an example. If you could ask that wallpaper person while he's hanging up some wallpaper in some places, do you really want to kill millions of people? I really don't think that's what he would have wanted. Hopefully, knock on wood, you know, he'd be a decent enough person to say, no, what I really want is, and maybe he should have went that route of writing down things and thinking about things a little better. But we are all a source of God, and there's a piece of God within us. So I have to understand there's duality in all things, and I have to understand that that specific example of Hitler, is a perfect example of duality. I do not live my life in a negative fashion. I do not want to have war or, killing people. Like, that's not me, dude. But duality in all things, I understand that I am to look at other people and see God within them. For whatever reason, and I don't know, I don't care to know, for whatever reason, God wanted that crappy individual to do all those horrible things. For what? I don't know. Who cares? I mean, the blessing is that that's all over. The 46th. When the world has... Oh, dude, I just read all this. I didn't flip the page. Turning the page. That's something that little dude should have done. He should have turned the page, man, and wrote a new one. So, the 47th verse. Without going out the door, know the world. Without looking out the window, you may see the ways of heaven. The farther one goes, the less one knows. Therefore the sage does not venture forth, and yet knows. Does not look, and yet names. Does not strive, and yet attains completion. Well, here's my little issues with this one. I understand what you're saying and what you're getting at, Lao Tzu. Just meditate. Just sit down and meditate. I get it. But on the other hand, when it comes to traveling, we live in a time where people are able to travel overseas, and see all kinds of things on our planet. You should do that. I know a lot of people that I've grown up with in upstate New York have never even left New York or have ever even thought of. They just don't care. They don't want to. But I think traveling is worth it. Because our planet that we live on is amazing. And there's a lot of beauty in our planet. And there's a lot of stunning places that you would have never seen had you not ventured out your door. Pardon me. So I think traveling is a wonderful thing. And that's my little tidbit. I've traveled, not overseas, but I've been to, Canada and Mexico, and I've lived in, the U.S., and I've seen all over the U.S., and it's not enough. One of these days, if I can get over my little 9/11 experience in my head, because I am a New Yorker, and I was here in that moment, in upstate, not city. But I have issues with flying now. Dude, I don't want to be on a plane and have it go down just because some dick wants to blow up a plane. Whatever, dude. But I do want to see more of the world. There's a lot of places I'd like to go and see. But I'm also all about meditation and not going anywhere. Sitting down. I prefer doing it in a bed. Like just sitting on a bed. And I usually end up sitting like Indian style. And I will put on some tranquil music in the background. What I like doing the most with is the piece that I did, the I Am That I Am, luxury hip-hop, because it contains a lot of positive affirmations. Now, I've never actually counted them to see how many there are, but if you click on it to read the description of the I Am That I Am luxury hip-hop thing that I did, you'll be able to read all of the affirmations that I put in it. It's all positive, and the music is just like, it's not even background noise at that point once you start meditating. And it just really has a way of soothing me and my soul more than other things at the moment. 48. Learning consists of daily accumulating. And it does. I mean, you have to accumulate the things you want to learn, right? Be it books or whatever. The practice of the Tao consists of daily diminishing. I don't really know, dude. Decreasing and decreasing until doing nothing. When nothing is done, nothing is left undone. True mastery can be gained by letting things go their own way. It cannot be gained by interfering. You just live your life, dude. I mean, like, I'm repeating myself over and over by reading this book, you know? I mean, live your life for yourself, not for anyone else. But also let other people have that for themselves. Don't dictate someone's life. I'm 40. I'll be 41 in May. So in a couple of months. Even this year, in my 40th year, right after my birthday, my father and my grandmother did not want me to say things online or be online or wear clothes that I want to wear, have my hair, nothing, man. In order to leave their house, they wanted me to stand before me. Okay, you're good to go and you can walk out. You know what I mean? At 40 years old. And I'm like, I'm going to do what I want, wear what I want, say what I want, think what I want. You if you don't like it. But I don't want to interfere in anyone else's life. I just want to be free to live my own way I see fit. 49. The sage has no fixed mind. In a way, and in a way, we don't. You know? He is aware of the needs of others. Those who are good, he treats with goodness. Those who are bad, he also treats with goodness, because the nature of his being is good. But at the same time, if you need to be put in your place, you need to be put in your place. And I'll be probably one of the first or a couple of, you know, in that line to tell you flat out, look, dude, you're up, you know, and I can't beat myself, so I'm trying to. Yeah, but I'm all about good. And I'm all about, you know, trying to be better than I was the day before. So I'm trying to always, and trying is not a good word, but for the sake of quickness in this conversation, I'm all about trying to answer people or deal with situations or negative situations with a positive, that's not me, dude, kind of mentality, and allow others to be themselves or situations to be as they are, you know? He is kind to the kind. He is also kind to the unkind. And I think I am to a decent extent. I mean, like, I will choose somebody out, tell them what's what, and tell them exactly how they are. Because of this nature, its kindness. He is faithful to the faithful. He's also faithful to the unfaithful. The sage lives in harmony with all below heaven. I try. And we're supposed to refer to ourselves as the sage in this, okay? I try to live with harmony, you know, for all things and all beings and all life form. And I try to see the beauty in all things. Even in some of the most disgusting things you can imagine, I try to see the beauty in it all. That's how I am. That's how I've always been. He sees everything as his own self. He loves everyone as his own child. All people are drawn to him. He behaves like a little child. Well, I don't know about that, dude. You know. But I guess when I'm 90, I can look back on this particular moment in my lifetime doing this show and be like, well, I can see where I was still a child. Hopefully I'll have grown to that too. The 50th. Let me take a sip here. My lips are dry. I should have got chapstick. But at any rate, between birth and death, 3 and 10 are followers of life. 3 and 10 are followers of death. And men just passing from birth to death also number in 3 to 10. I don't really know what that's 3 to 10. Whatever, dude. Why is it so? Because they clutch to life and cling to the passing world. I'll continue in a moment. Hang on. But there is 1 out of 10, they say, so sure of life that tigers and wild bulls keep clear. Weapons. Wait a minute, dude. Before I continue on, I'll read this back out, okay? I don't know where this whole, 3 and 10, whatever, but, clutch to life and cling to the passing world. You really should enjoy life. Now, as far as tigers and wild bulls keep clear, I don't know about tigers, and I don't know about bulls, man. But I know from this last year of sleeping outside in LA, coyotes would look at me as they walked by. Because I had to sleep with the coyotes and meth addicts and everything, And when I would catch eye with some of the coyotes, God, it was messed up, man. It was like we were having this conversation just instantly. I was on the same level. I don't really understand. I've always been an animal lover, but I don't really understand the amount of conversation I was allowed to perceive in my head from an instant of looking eye to eye with the coyotes that were there. So if anyone, or if you can understand a little better on that note, fill me in, dude. Weapons turn from him on the battlefield. I almost died a bunch of times. I was almost set on fire and stabbed, shot, all kinds of stuff. And for some reason, even in that scary moment of almost being set on fire, I don't know why that dude, in that one particular moment, because there's been a bunch in this last year of being homeless, right? I don't know why that dude turned away from me and started walking away, because he was like lit, just not in his headspace. And if that was his headspace without being lit, he needs professional help. But I don't really understand how I got out of that the way I did. I don't understand how that kid walked away from me in the way that he did, because the way he backed up and was backing away from me and everything, it all just felt really, and not just because I was having a freaky moment of whoa, dude, I'm about to die, but there was something there, because I should have died in just that one moment. I should have died. But for some reason, and I don't want to be all like, oh, an angel came down or God was standing in the way, because, whatever, dude. It could have been anything. It could have been that the dude just had a flash of ooh, it's been a couple of minutes since I slammed a needle in my arm. Let me go do it again. I mean, I don't know what that kid was thinking in his head, but I do know what his intentions were. And I do know that for some reason, it was really weird. That dude just backed away, honestly, not to sound stupid, it was like he was talking to me as God, and he just realized, you're about to set God on fire. Get away from me. Whether that's the way it is or not, or if there was a spirit with me or something, right? I don't know. But I do know the entire moment, every hair right on the back of my head, down to the hair on my toes were standing up. Like there was an extreme amount of electricity in the environment. You know what I mean? I don't understand. Let's see. Rhinoceroses have no place to horn him. Tigers find no place for claws, and soldiers have no place to trust their blades. Or thrust, not trust, my bad. Why is this so? Because he dwells in that place where death cannot enter. Realize your essence, and you will witness the end without ending. Is that what happened? I don't know, dude. I mean, I know I was even reading this book at the time. Not in that particular moment of almost being set on fire, but I had the book with me because I had been reading it, you know. I don't really know. The 51st. The way connects all living beings to their source. That's true. The great way is the way of God, you know. It springs into existence, unconscious, perfect, free. Takes on a physical body, let circumstances complete it. Therefore, all beings honor the way and value its virtue. They have not been commanded to worship the Tao and do homage to virtue, but they always do spontaneously. The Tao gives life, or give them life. Virtue nourishes and nurtures them, rears and shelters and protects them. The Tao produces but does not possess. The Tao gives without expecting. The Tao fosters growth without ruling. This is called hidden virtue. I've had my own death experience in '89. I was 12. For years I thought I was 11. My bad, the time is a blur. And like I've said before, that's the way life is with me. It's here on this planet is just a blur of time. There's no like, oh, that was 3 weeks ago. It's not the way my body works, or my brain, or whatever. The 52nd. All under heaven have a common beginning. It's true. And a common ending. This beginning is the mother of the world. Having known the mother, we may proceed to know her children. Having known the children, we should go back and hold on to the mother. Keep your mouth shut, guard the senses, and life is ever full. Open your mouth, always be busy, and life is beyond hope. Seeing the small is called clarity. Keeping flexible is called strength. Using the shining radiance, you return again to the light and save yourself misfortune. This is called the practice of the eternal light. I can understand, and at first, the first few times of reading this book, I didn't really understand, dude, why are you calling it a mother, man? I kind of get it. It gives birth to creation, blah, blah, blah. So. The 53rd. If I have even just a little sense, I should walk in the great way. If you got a head, you need to use it. And my only fear would be straying. The great way is very smooth and straight, and yet people prefer devious paths. I don't think that's the case. I believe in the other things that this book is saying. There's duality in all things, and that is from our source. Even the negativity. So I don't think there's any deviating of path. I don't think there is any ego of edging God out. No. It is all under our source. We are all under our source. Our thoughts are not entirely our own. And I also believe that you need to include the negative aspects of life and people and situations and everything as also being a part of. That is why the court is corrupt, the fields lie in waste, and the granaries are empty. I don't know what that is. The G is in Goofy, R is in Ratatouille, A is in Ariel, N is in Neverland, A is in Ariel, R is in Ratatouille, I is in Iago, E is in Eeyore, S is in Stitch. Are empty. Whatever. Dressing magnificently, wearing a sharp sword, stuffing oneself with food and drink, amassing wealth to the extent of not knowing what to do with it, is being like a robber. And I'm going to have some issues on that one in a moment. Stay tuned. I say this pomp at the expense of others is like the boasting of thieves after a looting. This is not the Tao. Now, that's basically like enjoying life, enjoying what's in life, enjoying the food and drink and people and situations, and have nice things, nice jewelries and whatnot. That's not robbing. You are a spirit of God, a part of, an extension of, a piece of, however you want to put it, whatever in book you're reading is going to translate it to you. Except for the Bible and the people that are now, pushing the Bible, they want you to think that you're separate from God, and you're not. But I think that we really need to come to terms with who we are as beings and presence, and if we're an extension of our source creation, our creator, our God, don't give me shit for trying to enjoy life and in things that I want to enjoy within my own existence. I like guitars. So what? I'm supposed to be like, oh no, I can't have those. Screw you, dude. And I don't think that our source is really going to be all like, oh no, you can't have that if you want to live a great life. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Like an example, years ago in 94, 95, 96, somewhere in there, right? I was living in Florida for the second time. I was actually working in a McDonald's in Riverview, Florida. I went in there one night because I really didn't know what I wanted to eat for dinner. So I'm like, let me just go back down there, And I was standing in line with a busload of people from a church. And this dude was standing behind me, was a preacher. And, somehow it came out that, I like playing guitar. He wanted me to go and play guitar for his church. And if I were to do it in any other way, that's not what God wants for me. I freaked out on that dude. Just like I would today. But yet, knowing a little bit more than I did back then, I would probably put him in his place a whole lot easier and more efficiently and effectively than I did then. And I did then. That dude and his entire busload of people ended up, waving goodbye to me and all of that, and I lit right into them. I'm like, how dare you tell me what God wants for me in my life, and if I don't do what you tell me to, that's not the way God wants it? You. Because in that rate, knowing that we are all, and this is going to sound really bad, but knowing that we are all a piece, an extension of our source creator, you can get away with then saying, I am God, but not in like an egotistical kind of way, right? But like you have a piece of that in you. If you acknowledge that within you, you can say, I am a piece of, an extension of our source. Don't tell me what my source wants for me, because I'm going to tell you what my source wants for me. And I can go on and on and on, dude. Yeah. 54. Whoever is planted in the Tao will not be rooted up. Whoever embraces the Tao will not slip away. You never slip away, dude. I mean, we're all an extension of our source. I'm trying not to swear, so it might take me an extra second, because I grew up in a bar, and yes, I do swear. I have a potty mouth. But you're never going to slip away from your source. And I don't think people should be so up in the head that they want to allow somebody to dictate their own thoughts and ideas and their life as being separate. I also don't think that we are born into sin. I do not, having, my own death experience in '89, I do not think there is a hell that the Bible wants you to think that there is. I actually think that hell is here on earth in life. You can make it heaven, or it can be hell. I don't think that we're separate from God. And I don't have anything nice to say about people that want to push that whole, you're a sinner, kind of mentality, separate from God, and you need to go and change your life. If God wants me to do something, I am going to know it as an extension of my source. And whatever God wants for me is what I'm going to do. I live my life for my source, for my creator, and if you don't, you. Generations honor generations endlessly. And yeah, we do. We really do. Cultivated in the self, virtue is realized. Cultivated in the family, virtue overflows. Cultivated in the community, virtue increases. Cultivated in the state, virtue abounds. The more you give, the more you want to reach out, the further you want to reach out, the better. I don't want to just help people in my family. I want to help people in my community. But I don't just want to help people in my community. I want to help people all over the planet. And if I can find a way to do that, I'm going to do it. The Tao is everywhere. It has become everything. To truly see it as it is. In a person, see it as a person. In a family, see it as a family. In a country, see it as a country. In the world, see it as a world. How do I know this is true? By looking inside myself. I am that I am. I am that I am. It's not just some cute shit put in a book. It is saying that I am everything. And if you can actually understand and comprehend what you're reading out of that one particular book, you'd be a whole lot better off. And you probably wouldn't be going around holding your damn signs, like God hates everyone, or God hates gays, or God hates Jews, whatever, dude. Suck a dick for Jesus. 55. He who is in harmony with the Tao is like a newborn child. Because everything's in awe, man. Like, everything blows me away. So I get it. Deadly insects will not sting him. Yeah, they do. Wild beasts will not attack him. For whatever reason, those coyotes did not mess with me. But yet, if I could have that conversation mentally go even further, telepathy or whatever, I would have asked to be surrounded when I woke up by all those coyotes with me inside their little circle because I needed protection. Birds of prey will not strike him. Bones are weak, muscles are soft, yet his grasp is firm. That's true. He has not experienced the union of man and woman, but is whole. And let me just pause on that. There's duality in all things. When it comes to your sexuality and your sexual preferences, you are an extension of God. Sexual energy is of the highest forms of energy, along with love. God is all about love. If you want to get whole, like God word, right? But yet, it's a sin if you're going to love somebody that other people don't tell you you're supposed to. To that. You know what I mean? Because in reality, love is love. And while you're on the other side, there is no gender. There is nothing like that. It is one. It is unity. Love. And that is it. So if you are one of those types of people that have issues with who somebody else is screwing, you're just not getting it. He has experienced, his manhood is strong. He screams all day without becoming hoarse. This is perfect harmony. To know harmony is to know the changeless. To know the changeless is to have insight. Things in harmony with the Tao remain. Things that are forced grow for a while, but then wither away. This is not the Tao, and whatever is against the Tao soon ceases to be. Isn't that true? Now I'm going to stop right here because we are getting a little lengthy in this, and I'll do another one from the 56 on at another point. What time is it? Yeah, I got to go wake up my niece in a moment, or my cousin's daughter, you know what I mean, whatever she is. But she's 2, she's taking a nap. I love her. She can be a cranky handful. She's got a very strong personality. I like that. Now, she can be a handful, but she's got a real strong personality, and I think that's outstanding. As long as she grows up to be herself and not let anyone else dictate her life for her, then she'll be all right. And it goes the same with you. No matter who you are, where you are, what conditions you're in, whatever. Don't let anyone dictate your life for you. You do that for you, because you're the only one that is in control of your own existence outside of our source creation. You know what I mean? If you want to call it God, you know, there you go. But I also think no matter what you're doing today, you're going to have moments that are a little down, and you're going to have moments that are like full of energy and bursting and positive. You know what I mean? Take a moment, especially in your down moment, to rock out to your favorite song, do something, color in a coloring book. Just take 5 minutes away, whatever it is. I don't care what you're doing, as long as it's healthy and constructive and all that, right? Enjoy life. Do whatever it is that you enjoy to enjoy your moment here on this earth. Even if it's only for 5 minutes before everyone else fills you and bombards you with all of their... Because in the end, if you're an extension of Source, there you go. So, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. And it is... Navajar? I hope you're having a really wonderful day. Let me click that. Will it go away? Hide. Okay, there. Oh, no live chat. Whoops. I'll leave that up. That was great. I love your live streams. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Okay, now it's fading away. I don't know if you can see all that I just had up, right? But I'm going to keep doing them. I'm not even done with this book. There's 81 verses in the Tao, and then there's a whole bunch of other things. This is under the name God Bless Freemasonry, because I am a Mason, but it's all about my life and my path to enlightenment and my journey. And if anybody else wants to listen, by all means. If you can learn something, by all means. But it is the God Bless Freemasonry, the quantum mechanics, the quantum mechanics of enlightenment and Freemasonry. So, in order to have a field study on quantum field theory, right, you need to know all kinds of pieces before you can put them together in your own little puzzle. And I do want to cover all the religious, enlightened, however you want to put it, texts that there is. Because it's not about, you know, it needs to be this, but it's not allowed to be that. You know what I mean? You can do whatever you want in life. As long as you're on the path to being a better person, we're good, dude. So my life is about giving back. My life is about trying to maintain a pure, positive connection to my source creation, and however that needs to be. And enjoying my life here on Earth while I'm here in it and on it. And, you know, that's how it is. So I'm going to cover all kinds of materials. I'm very excited to continue after a while, because I do want to cover a few more things before we start branching out there. But I do want to translate everything, like the Tao and the Bible and the Torah and Quran, all that, you know, good stuff, into medical and, you know, like the periodic table and how we are all connected. So, I love you guys. Have a wonderful day today. Thank you for your time. And if you're a fan of Iron Maiden, and I am, let me know what your favorite tunes are. Leave your comments in the comments field. And yeah, I do have a lot of coconut oil in my hair. If you think I look like white trash today, thank you very much for your time. I really don't care what anybody else thinks of me. And I never will. My life is my own. And if you don't like it, you don't have to like it. But I do. And that's the same for you in your life. Purple Heart. I love purple. Wade Dyer signed his name and his book for me in purple. And I actually met him with dark purple hair. So it's kind of weird, dude. So yeah, dude, I'm all about it. But I'm going to cut off here for now. And rock on, dude. Enjoy your day. And also, if you know any other enlightened piece of material, let me know. Show me in like an online source. If I don't have the book itself, whatever, I'd like to read it and possibly cover it in this. So, I love you guys. Namaste. Feel free to subscribe, share these videos around with your friends, whatever, dude. Just enjoy your moment. Later, buddy.